And here's the deal. We promised these things, and they haven't seen it. I don't know whether you've been surprised, but the number of people who've come up to me after January 1st saying, you cut my insulin costs, $35. Like, I didn't believe government would really do it. But there's a lot more coming. A lot more coming. And again, let me end by thanking the medical people that are here and the students. It really matters. By the way, you know, everybody said, well, how was I able to have these new programs and still cut the deficit $1.7 trillion the last 2 years? Well, it's pretty straightforward. There were 550 companies of the Fortune 500 that made $40 billion that didn't pay a penny in tax, zero, nothing in taxes. So I said the outrageous, and we got votes for it. I said they ought to pay a minimum of 15%. 15%, that's less than y'all pay. And guess what? It allowed me to cut the deficit. Almost 100,000 Nevadans get their health care through the Affordable Health Care Act, and 300,000 have coverage because of expanded Medicaid under the Affordable Health Care Act. Unfortunately, my MAGA, and by the way, I mean this sincerely, this is not a broad criticism of all Republicans. This is not your father's Republican Party. This is a different breed of cat now that's in charge. No, but think about it. And we would have lost a lot fewer if we started earlier, not because of the doc's decisions, but because of other decisions made. Oh, wow, I didn't see you all up there. Holy mackerel, don't jump. Don't.
Financial consequences.
So what is your plan?
And we made that determination.
Right. So what is your plan to keep large depositors from moving their funds out of community banks into the big banks? We have seen the mergers of banks over the past decade. I'm concerned you're about to accelerate that by encouraging anyone who has a large deposit in a community bank to say, we're not going to make you whole, but if you go to one of our preferred banks, we will make you whole at that point.
Look, I mean, that's certainly not something that we're encouraging.
That is happening right now.
That is happening because depositors are concerned about the bank failures that have happened and whether or not other banks could also
No,
fail.
it's happening.
So the Biden administration has expressed a lot of concern in the past about consolidation in other sectors. You've spoken about meatpacking, shipping, ocean shipping, oil companies. Are you worried that this crisis surrounding several regional banks could lead to a consolidation and a concentration in the larger banking sector? And then I'll have another one.
So promoting competition in the American economy, we see that as a priority, part of our American economy.
But I mean, the question is, are you concerned and what can you do about it? You know, as consumers are now making decisions, having seen what happened with SVB and with Signature, what's happening now with First Republic, I mean, what tools do you have to push back against a further concentration in this critical sector?
So look, as it relates to specific banks and institutions, you know, I would refer you to the relevant banking regulators.
The U.S. has had a humanitarian parole program that you opened for the 4 countries from Latin America. That program is being challenged in court in Texas. Can you talk about the implications of that case? I know that that type of parole has been a tool that the president has used repeatedly in the last 2 years, not just for the Southern Hemisphere, but for other humanitarian crises.
Yeah, so as you know, that parole program that we put into place is working. It's working. It's going to put forth a comprehensive immigration reform bill on day one, and they have refused to work with us. So again, the president put this program together, and again, it's working. And instead of Republicans in Congress or Republicans working with us on fixing this issue or dealing with a real issue, the border, they want to repeal a program that is actually doing what it is supposed to be doing. So this is a political stunt by them. This is something that they're not serious about, and it is unfortunate. Look, we're going to secure the border.
What is the White House's reaction to environmental activists critical of the Biden administration's approval of the Willow Oil project. They argue that the president has undermined his own goals on climate change in approving this.
So a couple of things there. Look, the president, when it comes to, you're talking about the Willow project?
Yeah, the Willow Oil project.
Look, the president kept his word when he, where he can, by law, right? That is important to note. And as the Interior Department said, some of the company's leases are decades old, granted by prior administrations. It's St. Patrick's Day, as you guys know, and it's also, fun fact, my mom's birthday tomorrow, so thank you. That's what I was about to do. I know she's watching, so you guys have to behave. My mom is watching. Happy birthday, Mom.